Hello, everyone. It's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland Reviewer, and welcome to Lost in the Wasteland, my weekly interview show, where I get to learn a little bit more about somebody else's perspective on movies. And this is my first time doing a sixth round interview, not with myself. Obviously, I'm always the guinea pig, but joining me is my buddy Adam. Adam, thank you so much, as always, for actually, it's more than six times on this interview show because there were some times where we did some
Some other
film
stuff, yeah.
interviews and stuff like that. But Adam, thank you as always.
Man, six, yeah, look, I feel honored that I'm the first to get to six rounds, but I also feel, I don't know, it's weird. It feels strange. I feel like the your favorite wasteland whore, so it's good. It's good and different.
That's Adam pouring around on all of my shows. So
Yeah.
we even do a show now
Yeah,
together once a month. So
I'm too lazy
yeah,
to start my own.
if you haven't checked out the Cinematic Wasteland, Adam, Luke, and I talk about old ass movies that are slowly becoming less old because we keep moving up each year. So we'll be recording
Yes.
1918 soon. It's actually our first like legit feature length film. It's like a 2 hour movie.
Yeah.
It's a little bit
Yeah, I
different.
saw that and I was like, oh shit.
Oh no, we're done with the short ones. Actually, we might be
Yeah.
back. You never know. I feel like that's
The
still
short
going to
ones,
be a
yeah.
thing into the 20s, but we'll get to
Mm.
that later. You could go check out that show too. You can check that out. It's a actual podcast, so that's where you listen to on like Spotify and stuff like that. Like we're here on
Yeah.
YouTube, and this sixth round interview is a little bit different because it's more of a speed round of a whole bunch of little prompts, and we're gonna get we're gonna put Adam on the spot with a lot of these things. Let's get started with some decades.
Yeah.
We're gonna go back in time. So, Adam, what's your favorite film from the 2020s so far?
Um, Yeah, this one's kind of easy. Everything Everywhere All at Once so far. And it's something again I need to watch. I've seen it four times now, I think, but yeah, I need to definitely watch it again. It's an astonishing piece of creativity.
I feel like that's one of the most universally beloved films of the last 10 years, easy. Like, easy. And
Yeah,
especially in the last 5 years. So, and it was one of those cool moments where one of those movies actually won all the Oscars. So, there you go.
yeah,
Which Everything
yeah,
Everywhere is one of the most unique. Like, it has impactful, poignant drama. It has butt
yep.
plugs and dildos
It's
and
funny
all
as
kinds of
hell.
random
Yeah,
shit. Raccoon
it's the
cooking.
it's it's the Bohemian Rhapsody, the song, not the film,
Of
of
the movie.
movies because it has everything.
Yep.
Like it
Literally.
has everything. It
It
has
is
rock,
the
it has jazz,
everything
it has
bagel.
blues, it has yeah, exactly. That's
It
right.
is the
Yeah,
everything bagel of
fantastic film.
movies. How about the
And it all
2010s?
La La Land. I love La La Land. It's in my top four of all time. Um, yeah, just I don't know if we've spoken about it before, but speaking about rom coms and whatnot. Yeah, I love this. I love this a lot for a lot of reasons that people hate it, and that's the ending. I love that. Spoilers. I love that they don't end up together because it is authentic. That these two people live supported each other to get to live their dreams, but because of that, they don't end up together. I think it's romantic in a way that that that's still a romantic ending to me.
I still think it's important to realize that there's people in your lives for certain purposes that might not wind up
Mm,
being the purpose that you think they're going to be. And I
yeah,
think La La Land captures that in a really impactful way and a really awesome finale that Damien
yeah,
Chazelle just went like, "Huh,
yes,
we're gonna have fun here," and just go
yeah.
completely into that. And
Fantasyland. It was
absolutely.
La La Land. It was absolutely La La Land. Yeah,
How about the 2000s, the aughts?
yeah what's kind of a blind spot for me because that's when I had kids, so there's a lot of
Mhm.
sleep deprivation and whatnot. But this is a movie I need to get back to again soon because I recently got the 4K. Is the Departed,
Nice.
I think The Departed is a phenomenal film. One of the rare ones that because it's a remake from a
Yeah.
Korean movie, it's actually better than the Korean movie than the original. Um, yeah, it's I don't know what more we need to talk about that.
I do have infernal affairs, and The Departed is like when your movie's being remade by Martin Scorsese, like
Mm,
it's gonna be great. And The Departed, that cast is
yeah,
incredible. And a lot of people just
yeah.
write it off as like the most commercial Scorsese. I'm like, you're not giving this movie enough credit for being
That's not
just
true at
as
all. People hate the rat at the end, and there's a petition to actually remove the rat from. I don't know why. I think it's. I don't know. It doesn't mean anything to me. It didn't upset me the way it upset some people. But that's
it's
a
just like,
great movie.
so what if Scorsese just like dropped a little exclamation point on the end? Is it on the nose? I
Yeah.
didn't I
So
didn't
what?
pay enough attention to that. I was already like I was
No.
cheering in my dorm room after what happened
Right.
right before the rat happened
Yeah.
to not care that much
Yeah. It
about the
was.
rat happening. How
It's a hell
about
of an
the
ending.
how about the 90s?
Uh, yeah. My favorite movie of all time, 12 Monkeys.
There you go.
I mean, the 90s is my decade. I'm a 90s. I grew up in the 90s, as in, as a teenager through to my 20s. Um, so it's very seminal, obviously, time. But 12 Monkeys is the standout for me amongst a decade of just phenomenal film, where film became film again. Yeah,
The
12 Monkeys
90s
is
was a
amazing.
really awesome decade, and Terry Gilliam had some really great films. And 12 Monkeys is such a fascinating remake of such a fascinating French film. And
Yes,
it's one
La
of Bruce
Jetée is
Willis's
really
best.
good too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
How about the 1980s?
This is a movie I watched a million times, and I still love watching it because of not just because nostalgia, because I actually just still love the film. Is The Goonies?
Mhm.
The Goonies is just it's the epitome of the '80s for me, really. Maybe that or ET, but The Goonies is just something I've watched honestly more than 50 or 60 times by now, and I've owned it on every platform, every physical media platform you can. But yeah, it's spectacular,
It
so much
has
fun.
everything. It has
Mm,
coming of age, swashbuckling adventure, Italian
mm.
mobsters. Uh, just
Puzzles, has puzzles, and
casually just
yeah.
dropping Italian mob
Mm.
family in there. The
Yeah,
Fratellis,
yeah. When they're
which
great though, that's awesome. You can have your antagonists, and they're good antagonists, honestly.
have Robert
Joey
Davi and
Pants.
Joey Pants, and
Yeah,
then Sloth. You guys
yeah. Hey, you guys,
and
baby
Chunk.
Ruth. Yeah.
Ruth. How about the 1970s?
Uh, yeah, man. The '70s is still a fantastic decade of film. But The Life of Brian. I love Life of Brian, man. It's probably I've got a different answer for a question later on, but it's one of the best comedies ever. And I love the story of how it got made. It's just as much as I love the film, because
Good for you, George Harrison.
it is one of.
Good for you.
Yeah, thank you, George. I mean, we're all forever indebted to George Harrison for many reasons, but Life of Brian is a big one. Yeah, it was again one of those seminal times in my life when I was figuring out what's real and what's not, religion and blah blah blah. And Life of Brian got me at a good time. Yeah.
So smart, and yet biggest dicketh.
Very smart. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like that's the thing. It's so smart and so stupid, and it's so funny, and it's just yeah, it's
And
brilliant.
aliens randomly.
That scene, so fucking bonkers. It's so great.
And
Oh
the
man.
last decade that I'm going to go into, because honestly, most people I'm going to interview for this, I don't know if they'd have answers for before the 60s. The 60s might be a stretch for some
I
people I'm
can
going
go
to
back to the
interview, but
30s. I can go back
I
to the
know you,
30s if you
I
want.
know you could. Most people, though. What about the 1960s?
I already have a letterbox list for this. The Apartment, which just sneaks in. The Billy Wilder classic, The Apartment,
Yeah.
with Jack Lemmon, who's my all-time favorite actor, and Shirley MacLaine, who I didn't even recognize was Shirley MacLaine because I only ever saw her as an old woman. And when I saw The
Yes.
Apartment the first time, I'm like, that's Shirley MacLaine. She was adorable. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, The Apartment is spectacular. So good.
It is so good. And I recently just rewatched that again this year, and it just hits. And Jack Lemmon
Yeah.
seriously is one of the best. And
Yep.
the first thing that I ever saw him in, oddly enough, was William Friedkin's 12 Angry Men, where he
Ah, right.
plays Henry Fonda's character. And it was a made for
Right.
TV movie in the late 90s, which, my God, the cast in that is insane. Because you have like George C. Scott, you have William Peterson from CSI, you have James Gandolfini, you have Tony Danza,
Yeah.
Courtney B.
Yeah.
Vance, and just so many great actors. And then, of course, going back and watching Some Like It Hot, The Apartment.
Mm.
Evan, for my review request, my first one was Front Page. And watching him and Walter
Yes.
Matthau with Billy Wilder one last time was a lot of fun too.
I've got. I have that teed up on a watch list. Actually, the front page.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now getting into some directors here. How about
Mm.
Spielberg? What's your favorite Spielberg film?
Just such a tough thing. But I mean, it's so tough to choose Spielberg. But I do have one. I don't know that I agree with it every day of the week, though. But I'm just going
Yeah.
to say Jurassic Park. The Jurassic Park is. It's almost a. It's almost a perfect movie for what it offers. You know, it's just such. I mean, it's a horror movie at its core, really. But it's just such great storytelling in that film. It's just
Mhm.
so wild and so I don't know. It's just such a thrilling. It's a proper thrilling adventure. And I do have this weird film kink where I love movies, adventure movies, action adventures set in the jungle. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because I rewatched Romancing the Stone again the other night, 2 nights ago, and I love that film because it just gives me this vibe. I even love the new Jumanji movies because of the same thing. I don't know. It's just a weird kink. I don't know. It's bizarre. I don't get it. I can't explain it. But yeah,
Hey, Jurassic
Jurassic
Park
Park.
is a perfect movie in so many ways, and
Mm.
that cast is incredible, top to bottom.
Yeah,
Just the
yeah.
Goldblum.
Jeff
Just
Goldblum. Yeah, Goldblum. And every time that zoom in on Goldblum posing like he's in a Playgirl magazine, I just die laughing. I don't think I'm supposed to laugh at that, but damn, it's funny.
it's something else. It's obviously
Mm.
turned into a meme a lot.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
just there's so many great lines, and it's like you spend so much time thinking about if you can, but not if you could.
yeah,
And
yeah,
it's so
yeah.
true about so many things. So many
Crazy
things.
bastard, he did it.
You crazy bastard. How about Scorsese?
Yeah, again, I mean, honestly, I'm going to say this for everyone that you reel off, but they're all tough choices. But again, the movie I love of his the most is Goodfellas. Goodfellas is a masterpiece. Um, I don't know that it glorifies violence and gangster life the way some people think, but
I
I
feel
think it
like
is a
they
cautionary
missed
tale, to
the
be honest.
point.
Yeah,
I feel like
yeah,
by the end you kind of miss the point because like what's Henry
yeah,
Hill's life by the end of the movie?
that's right.
Not
What's
good.
it become? Like yeah, no, it's definitely doesn't glorify it.
It's it needs to lure you in, like Henry, just to pull it out from you. And like once you really start to see what that life's really about, it gets dark. And also Robert
Yeah,
De
yeah.
Niro is like subtly terrifying, especially towards the end of that film. I'm
Hell
like,
yeah. Joe Pesci is terrifying. Like Joe
well,
Pesci
Joe
is
Pesci's terrifying the whole entire movie.
scary.
Like funny how? Funny like a clown funny? Do I
Yeah.
amuse you? How about
Yeah.
Christopher Nolan?
This is an easy one for me. People won't agree, but Christopher Nolan is Nolan. The Prestige. I love The Prestige. The ending of that
And too.
still gets me. I've seen it a few times, and it still gets me. Like it's the first time I watch it, it literally, well, not literally, it's probably not the right word, but it blew my fucking mind, man. Like watching this and the realization that you come to with that ending. It's like, oh my god, Like it.
I bought it
Yeah,
for used for $3 at the Princeton Record Exchange in college when my brother was visiting, and we went right back to my dorm and watched it, and I lost my shit.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
I,
yep,
I'm like, what did I just watch? And it is
yeah,
still, it's up there with Interstellar as like my favorite Christopher Nolan movies.
yep,
It's just, and Hugh
yep.
Jackman and Christian Bale are so damn good, so good.
It's probably Hugh Jackman's best performance. I think Hugh's a little bit overrated as an actor, but it's only Wolverine that got him, and his looks, I think, got him where he is. I don't know that he's such a great. I think maybe Prisoners is probably his best performance, but Hugh's not all that to me. I don't think.
I think he's a great actor.
I think it's good.
I don't think he's shown it a ton. I feel
Mm.
like he does a
Yeah,
lot of movies where he doesn't have to go to, because like
yeah,
Logan's probably like the one exception of like when he played Wolverine where he really had to go to a place.
mm.
But like
Yep.
the rest of it's, playing Wolverine. And Greatest Showman didn't, like, he could sing and
No.
dance, and that's what that was showing off. The that character's
Yes.
as basic as a, it's like shallow as a puddle kind of thing, and definitely not
Yeah.
like the real P.T. Barnum, who's an ungodly piece of shit. But like it's one of those kinds of things. But no, he was so great as Angiers in both those roles that he played in The Prestige, playing drunken,
Mm.
smarmy version of himself too. And then Christian
Yeah.
Bale is just doing his Christian Bale thing.
I mean, Christian Bale is the best modern actor we have. Like, there's no one better than Christian. There's honestly no. I'll stand by that. I'll stand like there's no one better than Christian Bale at the moment, DiCaprio included.
How about Tarantino?
Well, my hot take on Tarantino is that no matter what I say, I can't be wrong because I think whatever your favorite Tarantino movie is, you're not wrong because they're all brilliant and deserve to be his best movie in any way. But mine is Jackie Brown. I love Jackie Brown. The only one of his that's not an original story, Elmore Leonard novel. I don't know, Jackie Brown just has this vibe and tone to it that I just link into, and it's a great little heist movie, and I love a heist movie as well. I love good heist movie. That's what Soderbergh makes great heist
Yeah,
movies. But yeah, I mean, I haven't seen Jackie Brown for a little bit, but it is spectacular. I mean, great cast, great performances. Like it's
music,
De Niro again. De
Delphonics.
Niro playing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's right. And Sam Jackson is just. I mean, you can mention all of them, but I love seeing um, De Niro kind of playing against. I'm going to say he's playing against normal type, even though he's probably not in some ways, but he's a very subdued, introverted bad guy. Yeah.
Hmm. Who just pals around with Bridget Fonda. Very
Yeah.
interesting because he wanted to be Max Cherry,
Yes. Yeah, he
and
did. Yeah.
Tarantino cast Robert Forster, who so
Mm.
damn good. The name's Max
Yeah.
Cherry. I love
Yeah.
Robert Forster, and I just there's certain things like watching The Descendants or even like his smaller work on like
Mm.
Breaking Bad and just like
Yeah.
smaller roles like that. He's just so good whenever he popped up
Yeah.
and stuff. And like I just love him as Max Cherry, and Pam Grier getting a chance to like really shine in a movie in the
It's a
90s
shame she never.
was such a
It's a shame she never went on from there, Pam Grier. To be honest, like she just did that, and Tarantino brought her back, and she never went on. Really
Mhm.
sad.
How about Fincher?
Yeah. So this is a film I watched in the cinema, which from the opening credits to the closing credits, still the best sets of credits I've ever seen. But this movie just rocked me, and it still does. Every watch I get chills. Is Seven. Like, and I watched this again earlier this year, Seven, and it's absurdly fantastic.
Yep.
Um, and probably if you think about the overall what goes on, it doesn't deserve to be as good as it is. But I know Fincher put off some magic with this, and that ending, obviously, that climax really ties it all up. It puts it in a nice little box with a bow, pardon the pun. But I don't know, it just plods along and you get invested in these detectives' lives and you get invested in the mystery of it. And then it kind of takes a bit of a
Kevin
left
Spacey
field
shows
when,
up.
yeah, that's right. So they don't, yeah, that's the thing. When the killer reveals himself, like, you go, holy shit, this isn't like a normal whodunit then. This isn't like a normal procedural. Like
No,
that's one of the aspects I love about it, you know. And Brad Pitt is fantastic in this. Like he's the lead guy, and Morgan Freeman is obviously spectacular as well. Yeah, amazing movie.
Sloth will always get me. No matter how many times I watch this
Yeah,
movie. Oh, that scene still
yeah,
gets me so bad.
that is, yeah, it's scary, right?
How about Kubrick?
Kubrick's probably, in my opinion, the best filmmaker ever of all time. I think his consistency, brilliant consistency, is just every film he made was amazing. It's so hard to choose with him because there's probably three on the list, but I'm going to say The Shining, which I didn't appreciate until I was an adult. Really, I love, but Full Metal Jacket also got me. Like, I
Hmm.
remember watching Full Metal Jacket as a teenager, and that just blew my socks off. So it's between those two, and I don't really want to choose between those two. And I love
That's fine.
Barry
That won't
Lyndon
make
as well. Yeah, yeah.
The Shining is my favorite horror film of all time. Um,
Mm,
you atmosphere. There's
yeah,
nothing
yeah,
like it. That
yeah,
score, the uncomfortable camera, just
yeah,
following you around. Jack Nicholson, just
yeah.
going
Jackie's so good.
unhinged for sure. And the only thing more unhinged is the behind the scenes of him prepping for his scenes. I don't know if you've seen the
Yes,
video of him going like,
yeah,
and it's murdering, and
yeah,
it's murder.
yeah.
I'm just like,
I've where he's figuring out when he's breaking down the door and Kubrick's figuring out the shot that he's going to take, and he's under him filming up as Jack Nicholson's. Oh, that's so awesome to see directors solve those problems and make something amazing out of it.
Kubrick was an asshole, but he was also a cinematic genius. And
Yeah,
he put some people in some horrible situations, but they
he had the
turned
Hitchcock
out great.
mentality. Hitchcock mentality. Actors were cattle. They were there to do a job, and we'll treat you the way I need to treat you to get the art. Yeah,
Well, that's a
you're a
perfect
hired
segue because
hand.
my next one is Hitchcock.
Ah, so it is. See, and again, Hitchcock's my all-time favorite director.
Yep.
Um, I love 90% of what he's done because it did fall off a little bit. Such a hard choice, but I've always maintained North by Northwest is my favorite film of his. But Rear Window is edged up
Mhm.
really close to that. But it's so hard to choose. But North by Northwest, I'm going to stick with Rear Window as a very close second.
At Cary Grant, just so
Yeah,
charismatic.
J- Kerry and Jimmy.
Yeah. James Mason, even even Marie Saint and Martin Landau as the henchman.
Yes,
Um,
yeah,
and
yeah. An
just
unrecognizable Martin Landau. The
it's just
way,
like he was
yeah,
young. What?
he was. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I remember in high school I had a cinema class and we did a month on Hitchcock. And then we had to pick one
Mm.
Hitchcock film we didn't watch in class and write a paper on it. And I went to my local library and they had North by Northwest. So I picked that one and got to write about that. And it was
Yeah,
very
true.
different for me because all the ones that we watched in class were like the horror thriller type ones. And like this is more of like espionage kind of thriller. And it's just like, oh,
Mm.
it's a little different. Certainly not Psycho. Um,
No, no, it's not.
well, now my favorites, the Coen brothers.
Look, there's a few earlier Coens I need to rewatch. Things like Miller's Crossing I need to rewatch, because I watched that when I was too young. But anyway, for the moment, I'm going to say The Big Lebowski. I mean, The Big Lebowski is crazy. This is a stoner movie, and I watched this when I used to be a stoner for the first time, and it killed me laughing. It was Philip Seymour Hoffman before I knew who Philip Seymour Hoffman was, who's probably in my
Right.
top three favorite actors of all time. Yeah, love that. I'm not going to say Tara Reid's line, uh, but yeah, it's a nice marmot.
Brent
Just
ha-
stupid lines.
Brent has to pay 100 to watch.
It's just this
That's where
is filled with so many.
oh, Mrs. Lebowski. That
I
Bobby.
love. There's so many great moments. Like when he drops the roach in his lap and crashes into that dumpster.
The lead
He's
up to that where he's
for
listening
ages.
to looking out my back door, just like pounding on the roof, getting high.
Yeah. He sets
Which
up that thing in his apartment with the door, like he's hammering that wood into the floor, and then the door opens the other direction. Oh my god! There's just so many great moments,
well,
and
it's
it's
funny
played so
because
straight.
it is a satirical homage to The Big Sleep and other Philip
Oh,
Marlowe. Because like
right.
the Coens are huge Raymond Chandler fans, and they wanted to make a PI film, but not really a investigator. Where just like
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
dude is like fought, even just like simply being like, "I'm a brother Seamus," and it's just like because he thinks the dude's a private investigator. He's just like, "Stay away
Yeah,
from the lady friend." Um,
yeah.
I could just go on for the Big Lebowski for hours because it's one of my favorite movies, but I'll just say the dude abides. Ridley Scott.
Ridley Scott was harder for me because I'm not a massive fan of Ridley Scott stuff. Um, but I'm going to say The Martian.
Nice.
Um, so not Alien, not his typical, not Gladiator, not those ones. I think The Martian is kind of, I don't know, it's a great comedy according to the
Because it
Hollywood
has
Foreign
a
Press.
sense of humor, and he says, "I'm going to
Yeah,
science the shit out of this."
yeah. No, it is a really good movie though, and again, something I need to rewatch. It's been quite a while since I've seen The Martian. But yeah, another Matt Damon in space getting saved film. So, you know,
We have spent so much money saving Matt Damon in movies. It's just one of those kinds of things
yeah,
where it is hilarious, but there's so many great characters, and it has a great story. And it's a really great
yeah,
adaptation too. Because like I read the book too, and I really like that. But
mm,
yeah,
mm,
Ridley Scott still has it. It's just a little inconsistent. You know, sometimes we get Napoleon.
yeah.
It's just
When you,
weird. That
yeah,
movie is so
Napoleon,
damn
I've
horny.
forgotten about. I've watched it, but forgotten about it. It's one of those films, you know. Yeah, I mean, The Last Duel was great. I mean, that's probably his best, most recent one.
Oh, the last duel is fantastic, and it made me
It's
upset that
brilliant.
everybody went to go see House of Gucci instead.
Yeah, yeah, it makes no sense.
Yeah,
And I was still
I
dying on the hill
guess
where Jared Leto was the best part of that film. I think Jared Leto was amazing in House of
he's the
Gucci, and I don't
most
care what anyone says.
he's certainly one of the most entertaining parts of that movie because if I
Yeah,
have to hear Lady Gaga doing a Russian accent and trying to pass it off as an Italian accent,
we need to not keep giving Lady Gaga roles. I'm not looking forward to the Joker 2 because of that. Like,
I'm
she's not
interested
an
in
actress.
that because I feel like a lot of it's going to be singing because it is a musical. But
Which
like,
is fucking weird too. Like,
it
I'm
is
not, I'm
weird,
not, I'm not going to see it until I
perplexed.
see what all my trusted advisors say about it. Like, you guys who watch movies opening day,
I am
I'll be
perplexed.
waiting.
I am perplexed by like what the hell this movie is going to be.
I like the first Joker. I actually think the first Joker is quite good. And we've gone off on a tangent here, but I like the first Joker. And people hate
Yeah,
it, but
a lot of
it
people
is
have
the king.
turned on that
It is,
quick.
they did. But I mean, it is 100% an amped up version of the King of Comedy. Like, it's absolutely that. But still great.
Like Todd Phillips obviously has watched some Scorsese because it's King of Comedy and Taxi Driver mushed together. A lot of
Yeah,
King of
yeah,
Comedy. But speaking of
mm,
wonderful segue here, one of the kings of comedy of the past couple of decades,
yeah.
Mr. Sandler. So
This one, this was
go
an
ahead,
easy
Adam. What's
choice.
your favorite Adam Sandler movie?
Yeah, an easy choice for me. Happy Gilmore, easily Happy Gilmore. Although Billy Madison, I love Billy Madison. That was the first of his I ever watched, and then Happy Gilmore, and then it kind of went downhill from there. I do like his dramatic roles. Okay. Uncut Gems is I've only seen once, but I don't know if I want to
Uncut
get that stressed out to
Gems.
watch that a second time. Um,
It was a stressful movie,
that's such a fucking stressful movie. But
but
Happy Gilmore is just a classic, and they're going to ruin it with a stupid sequel. It's going to be annoying.
I really hope they don't ruin it. But we're gonna have to see.
Netflix. I've me and Net, if I ever met Ted Sarandos, we'd have some words, man. He's ruining movies. He's just ruining it. Just can't. And of course, there's people that are just going to take it when he's handing out that much money to them. Like, here's money, here's money. Make what you want. Oh, we'll do a Happy Gilmore too, because nostalgia. Like, fuck off, mate. Fuck off.
It's just Chris McDonald and Adam Sandler are so damn good. And Shooter
You
McGavin.
eat pieces of shit for breakfast?
No. Oh, and Grizzly Adams had a beard. Grizzly Adams did have a beard. Mr.
That's so
Larson.
good.
It's like Mr. Gilmore got to hit that shot not 50, like 30 minutes ago. It's just like, oh, you can count. You can count on me waiting for you in the parking lot. And like, I was a James Bond
Yeah,
kid. So
yeah, yeah.
Jaws, of all people,
Yeah.
up in the middle of Happy Gilmore.
Ah,
And Carl Weathers, Cubs, is just,
yeah.
it's
Oh, this
all
is
in
good.
hips. It's all in hips. I
Just
spent way too much
tapeting.
time, so much damn time watching Adam Sandler movies. So much.
I killed the
Um,
Mr. Lady.
oh, yours hurt. Well, your back's gonna hurt. You just pulled landscaping duty.
Yeah. Ben Stiller is so great as a bad guy. Oh, he's
So
awesome.
great. Oh, Leonardo DiCaprio.
Again, a relatively easy one for me. It might be a surprise because DiCaprio's made some amazing films, but Titanic, still think Titanic is a spectacular movie.
It's the king of the world.
Yeah, I mean, I love Titanic. It does it because it harkens back to the old classic movies. It does. It has got a lot of old classic Hollywood in it. Kind of a similar reason I love La La Land as well.
It
And
doesn't
plus, it tells a
feel like
great thrilling story.
it doesn't feel like a big budgeted modern movie. In the sense
No,
like the technology it
even though it
does.
is.
But like
Mm,
it does feel like a classic kind of Hollywood. Like classic Hollywood would make the focus of the sinking of a Titanic movie about a romance. Like that is the
mm.
kind of thing old
Yeah,
Hollywood would do.
yeah,
And it it still works.
it
I'm
hits. Yeah,
high I'm
yeah,
high on the LA Confidential should have won Best Picture train from
yeah.
1997, but like
Mate, that's
Titanic is
a
something
great movie.
special for
Yeah, it
sure.
is. That
Uh
was a tough
Tom
choice that year.
Tom Cruise.
Yeah, again, another maybe not so tough, but I'm going to give you two because one is Tom Cruise, one kind of isn't, but it's a weird. Anyway, I'll explain. Mission Impossible. I think the first Mission Impossible is still my favorite Mission Impossible. I love that whole thing. Again, it was something I watched in the cinemas back in the day, and that was just such an intense, thrilling ride. Brian De Palma doing De Palma things was
Yeah.
really great. But the other honorable mention is Tropic Thunder. I mean, Tropic Thunder is one of the top five comedies ever made, I think, and
It's
I didn't
so
recognize him. I did not recognize that was Tom Cruise that entire film until the credits. I'm like, that was fucking Tom Cruise, and I had to rewind it. I'm like, that is Tom Cruise. Legit, I honestly didn't realize it was him the entire
he
film.
had his fat Harvey Weinstein
Fat
hands.
hands. Yeah, yeah. And Bill Hader
So
playing his assistant was great. Like, yeah,
yeah,
so
like
good.
dickless monkey can do your job. I'm just kidding. You were so helpful, but seriously, a dickless monkey could do your job. Uh, it just and him dancing to that song at the end
Yeah,
during the
yeah,
credits
yeah,
was perfect. Oh my
yeah. Yep.
God. That's the
That's the only
one.
way you would do the film.
Yeah. He's like, I want to dance and I want fat hands.
Yeah,
Because he
yeah,
legitimately wanted to shove it to Harvey Weinstein, which how many actors at that point could get away with that?
yeah.
Not a lot. But Tom Cruise could. Oh,
No,
this
not
is
many
Tom
would
Cruise.
want to try. Yeah,
Yeah. And Tom Cruise had the power and power and influence of Scientology behind him. So,
yeah, 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 yeah.
Russell Crowe.
I keep saying these top comedies of all time. Like these, this top three, this top five comedy. But I genuinely think this one has to be in. There's the Nice Guys. Like
Yes.
Russell Crowe again has made some great movies, but the Nice Guys is. I've seen Nice Guys 5 or 6 times now, and it doesn't get old. It's
No.
always great. Always makes you chuckle. It's just stands the test of time.
If you told me Russell Crowe and Ryan Gosling would be the perfect PI duo, I'd be like,
Mm.
hmm.
Oh,
And then you watch it and you're just like, it's perfect. And they play their characters so perfectly.
why
And
we don't have four of these films by now is
because
annoying as shit.
Angry Birds made more money every weekend than they did.
I hate Hollywood sometimes. Honestly, I hate it.
It's
The,
just like
the
Shane Black, just don't make any more Predator movies. Just keep giving us more of the nice
yeah, yeah,
guys.
yeah, yeah. Exactly.
I
Yeah,
want
Nice
more.
Guys is
And then when Russell
amazing.
Crowe, who does not do sequels, was like, which he's obviously
Yeah.
turning around on that because he's upset that he's not in Gladiator 2. And he's like, if I could do a
Mm.
sequel to anything, I want the nice guys too.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
so do
I think
we.
the world wants that. Yes.
So do
Talk
we.
about cult hits.
How about Brad Pitt?
Brad has one of the best catalogs of any actor of all time. But this is a movie I've already mentioned. You know, it's going to be 12 Monkeys. I
Yeah.
mean, it's my favorite movie ever. And but there's about 8 or 10 movies I could list off for Brad Pitt. We did
Yeah.
a video once of top 10 Brad Pitt films.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
yeah, but 12 Monkeys, we've spoken about that enough,
Yep.
probably.
How about Matt Damon?
Matt Damon. There's, there's a
Is it
couple.
Team
This
America World Police? I'm
uh,
kidding.
again, another one I have to watch again because I actually had the Blu-ray. I got that recently. I need to rewatch it. But again, I'm going to give you two for Matt Damon because Talented Mr. Ripley, I love. I think that's a really great film for a lot of reasons. There's another a vibe film where it just gives me a good vibe and good tone. But I'm also going to honorably mention Dogma. Um, I love Dogma.
Loki.
Again, these aren't films that most people are going to choose, I think, for these actors. But yeah, Dogma is amazing. Again, one of those like 12, like Life of Brian. It's one of those films that hit me at that right age to help me make up my mind about some things. Now I've got something in my eye. This is annoying. But Dogma's funny as shit too. Chris, like, everyone's good in that. Chris Rock is awesome in that film. I think. Yeah, just a lot going for it.
Alan Rickman as
Oh, Rickman is so good.
the Megaton. Uh,
Yeah,
and then just
pissed
the
off is
fact
what I am.
just the fact that they got Matt Damon and Ben Affleck to be fallen angels together is just
Yeah.
Loki.
Mm.
And George Carlin as this
Yes, as the
shit of
priest.
a cardinal from New Jersey who blesses
Yeah.
his golf clubs.
Jason
Just
Lee's really good too as is
yes.
it Gabriel? I'm a demon. Yeah. Jason Lee's
Jason
really good.
Lee needed to do more work with Kevin Smith because he like the
Yeah.
second he jumped ship and started doing Alvin the Chipmunk movies, it just
Yeah.
went in a completely different direction.
Well, there's a
But
It's actually making a sequel to Mallrats, and Jason Lee's already signed into that. And I think Ben Affleck's also going to be in the sequel to Mallrats.
Oh my
Well, if he can get it
God.
financed,
I can't imagine him
yeah,
being that dude now that he's like 50 something.
I can. But
Well,
the first two movies I ever watched with Ben Affleck is still the reason I don't like him as a person, and that's purely because of the roles he I saw him in. That was Dazed and Confused, where he's
oh my God.
O'Bannon, the fucking dickhead, and the
And
jerk off in
Mallrats.
Mallrats.
Oh my
Yeah, and I was like, I hate this guy, and for
Well, I
now, the
recently watched
order he's
Geely for Rowan in the Wasteland and
ah,
never want to watch another Ben Affleck movie ever again. So there you go.
why would you do that to yourself? Was that Rowan's pick?
Yes, because I'm gonna call out Heath, friend of the show, for a minute, because he had a fun time listening to us talk about a bad movie and said that we need to do more
Right.
bad movies on Road in the Wasteland. And one of my
Okay.
least favorite things to do is talk about movies I don't like. Go out of my way to watch bad movies. Watch anything and everything. I don't enjoy watching bad movies. I'm not the kind of person who's like, this is so bad it's good. No, it's a bad movie.
No. Yeah.
And thanks, Heath, because then I had to watch Geely, and which offends literally everybody. But if I ever have
Yeah.
to watch Ben Affleck try to be Italian ever again, I'm gonna vomit.
I don't know
Vomit.
anything about this movie other than it's hated universally, so I haven't even bothered to learn about it or
It's
watch
so
it.
bad. It's so bad. Don't watch it. Don't waste your time. I wasted 2 hours of my life. But anyway,
Wow.
now we got a couple of younger actors. We got Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah, this is an easy one. It's June. Dune, however you want to pronounce it. Yeah, June is. I mean, Chalamet's obviously made some good movies as well. He's going to make a lot more greater movies,
Yeah.
but June is peak sci-fi.
I prefer to say the Stellan Skarsgård way of Arrakis, my June. Um, but no, that movie made me finally realize that Timothy Chalamet is growing up as an actor. Because I'm like, can I be
Yeah.
intimidated by Timothy Chalamet? And then Dune Part 2
Mm-mm.
made me be like, oh crap, I kind of
Yeah.
can.
It makes you think he's the real deal, right? Like he is the real
Yeah.
deal, Chalamet. Absolutely.
Um, this actress is on here because I love her, and it's Saoirse Ronan.
And rightly so. I haven't seen her in a lot of films, but and I've only seen this film once, but I loved it because a friend said, "Check this out; it's really good." Brooklyn. I love Brooklyn is a fantastic movie.
Love that movie. It's my wife and I each pick a movie to watch on Valentine's Day every year, and
Oh, nice.
Brooklyn's in the rotation for me. Usually it's Princess Bride. That's the easy
Yeah,
choice for me to pick. But like
yeah,
Brooklyn's
yeah.
definitely up there. And I just read the book last week for the first time.
Oh, wow.
And it's
Okay.
so good. And the movie's such a great
Yeah,
adaptation of it. But no, it's like watching the love story of my grandparents because my grandmother was English, Irish,
yeah.
Scottish, and my grandfather was that Paisan from South Philly.
Right,
And it's
right.
just like that kind of dynamic. I just love that movie too.
Yeah,
Frances McDormand, one of the most decorated actresses of all time.
yeah. She's great, Francis. But again, an easy one for me was Fargo. I
You
mean,
betcha,
Fargo's
yeah.
and she deserves it. She every Oscar she's got, she's deserved. Yeah, but Fargo's a pretty special film actually. Like it's one I watched back in the day because it was Oscar nominated, it was Oscar winner, blah blah blah, and I'm like, yeah, this is really good. But the more as older I've gotten, the more you watch it, the greater it is. It's just I don't know. William H Macy is amazing as
Oh my
well.
God,
It's
so
just
slimy. And that lost to the
Steve,
English
yeah,
patient. Let's just let that sit there.
yeah,
God, goddamn
yeah,
English patient. Oh, but no, Frances McDormand as Marge is so good. She is so
mm,
resourceful. She's so intelligent. She's funny. And just like, I don't agree with your police in there. Because she knows
mm,
what she's doing. It's
yeah,
like, It's like I
Yeah,
think you only got through a couple of the letters on the license plate there. DLR. I think that might mean dealer plate. And it's just like she's so smart. And then it's like then
yeah,
you get moments where it's just like, oh, I think I'm gonna barf. Because like this is a pregnant woman just lugging around
yeah.
in like the
Heavily pregnant woman.
snow.
Yeah,
Yes. Oh, I love her
and
so much. Well, and
husband looks
now
after her.
time for the street monster. Creep. So who we have for Meryl Streep?
Dude, I guarantee you, in every round six that you ever do, no one's going to give this answer. No one.
Okay.
Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Actually, what's funny is my wife probably lost. Because
Oh, really? Good. Well, good, mate.
we
Because
love
out
that
of all the
movie.
movies she's done, oh, mate, it's a 5 out of 5. I mean, Roald
Felicity.
Dahl. I'm a sucker for Roald Dahl
Yep.
anyway, but yeah,
Oh my
it's
God.
such a fantastic
Because
movie.
I'm doing
Another
Wes
heist
Anderson
movie.
next. My wife has already.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
let my wife pick first. She picked Fantastic Mr. Fox because that's like one of her
yeah,
favorite movies, and she's so
yeah.
good with George Clooney. As it's just like, hey,
Mm.
babe, you're pregnant. I think I'm glowing. Or maybe it's lighting. But no, she has to be the straight person to this nonsense,
Yeah,
and then she even gets to have
yeah,
content. And then even just like the rat is like she was the town taught in her day. Is that true? You know, it was
yeah.
a different time. Uh
Yeah.
so funny, but
She's
no, no,
amazing. Like, yeah, if we're naming best movies that I think they're in, yeah, it's Mr. Fox. Yeah, obviously, yeah.
so good. Amy Adams.
Here's another. I'm going to give you two here too, but my number
Okay.
one is the Muppets. I think the whatever year that was, but the Jason Segel Muppets.
Am
She's
I a
amazing
man
in that.
or am I a
Yeah, am I
Muppet?
a Muppet or a man? One of my favorite scenes from that is when Amy Adams is singing that song in the diner. I think she's so good. Like
He's so
she's got
good.
comedy chops as well, and yeah, and that's just a really good fun movie. It's
Mhm.
hilarious, it's meta, it's everything. But the other one, obvious one, is probably Arrival. Arrival is I've only seen Arrival twice,
Incredible.
and I'm scared to watch it a third time because it's just it's so confusing at the end. I really don't know what's going on. But I still love it though for that reason.
Emotionally devastating. And it was just like it
Mm,
just tore my heart out. But no, I love the Muppets and the fact that Brett McKenzie from Flight of the Concords did all the music
yes,
for
yeah,
that Muppet movie
he won an
says a
Oscar.
lot.
I love it.
Yep.
Dude won an Oscar, and then he's gone missing too. I don't know what he does anymore, but
Yeah.
Jermaine's gone off with Taika, and yeah, it's weird.
Being in
But
Avatar
Arrival, I just want to
movies.
say, Arrival, is he?
Yeah, Jermaine
Where is
Clement
he?
was in Way of Water.
Oh, Jermaine is, yeah, yeah, yeah. But
Yep.
he's doing a lot
Oh
of
yeah,
stuff
I don't
though
know
with
what Brett
TV and
McKenzie
whatnot.
has done in a long time. So
No, no, me either. But just last thing I want to say about Arrival, it's the most Christopher Nolan, non-Christopher Nolan film we have
well,
because of the
honest,
sci-fi time dilation stuff.
I don't know if this is like sacrilege to say this, but like I get a lot of Nolan vibes from Denis Villeneuve in like some of these like bigger scale movies. Like obviously they have a bit of different
Okay,
tone, but like I feel like there's some similarities there. Like I'm not going to say that like
it's
they're the same
interesting.
director, but I do get similar kind of vibes. And like you saying the whole
Yeah,
arrival thing, like I can see that. And you know,
yeah,
I just appreciate that we have both of them making big scale,
yeah,
artful
absolutely,
films like that. So we're lucky to have them both. Um,
absolutely.
and one last actor, Kate Blanchett.
This is really hard for Kate Blanchett. I mean, again, an amazing actress, deserves all her awards. I feel like I'm going to cheat if I say Hot Fuzz, because she's in it for like that as a voice on a phone, basically. But I'll say Fellowship of the Ring because I've recently fallen in love with Lord of the Rings after not liking it so much. Again, I haven't seen a ton of a ton of her movies. Blue Jasmine, she's amazing. but I'm
Yeah.
not going to say it's something I'm going to rewatch and watch again. Like, so to me, this is what movies I'm going to rewatch a lot. And again, same with Matt Damon. I'd have to say, talented Mr. Ripley as well. Even though she's not in that a great
Mhm.
deal, I don't think. Maybe she is, but yeah, probably Fellowship. That was the toughest choice out of all of them for me. Kate
There you
Blanchett.
go. Now we got a couple of studios
Hmm.
here. So we got Disney. What's your favorite Disney movie?
Disney's Lion King. Yeah, that's Lion King. I still love the Lion King. I'm trying to find
30
a
years
4K.
old.
Can't find it in Australia. Yeah, it's Lion King's awesome. It's just
Mhm.
classic Shakespeare tale, but so well told. And the songs are amazing. Like, it just all adds up. It was like lightning in a bottle, that film.
Absolutely. To the point where I heard, I'm not going to name them because they're actually pretty famous, and this is so dumb of them to say. They're like, what if they did like a human version of Lion King? And I'm like, you mean Hamlet?
Macbeth, Hamlet, not Macbeth.
I'm
Why did I
like,
say that?
wait a minute,
Yeah.
you mean Hamlet? And I'm like, God damn it, whatever. But no, it is a creative adaptation of Shakespeare and has great music.
Yeah.
I will not forgive them for what they did to my child. Um, be prepared. The new version of it, but like Jeremy Irons
Yeah.
as Scar with that song is so
Yeah.
perfect. There's Nazi hyenas.
Great voice
How
casting.
about Pixar?
Pixar is Coco. I love Coco. I think it's more than it's brilliant. It's also an important film for children to teach them about death and that
Mhm.
it's maybe not the end, but it's a family bonding film. Yeah, Coco's. I love Coco. It looks great. Again, really good songs in it. Um, Tells a great story and a most important thing. Yeah, like I said, a very important story for kids. I love Coco.
I'm a big fan of Puka Loco. A lot of fun. And
Yeah,
Remember Me. The multiple versions
yeah.
of that song will get you either like it's a fun song to why am I crying? Um
It's the only
or
Pixar film that
between
makes me cry. Oh, actually, Toy Story 3 and Coco make me cry. Yeah, the
there you
Coco's
go.
amazing.
How about Marvel?
I might not be the only one that chooses this, but Guardians of the Galaxy. Again, one of
Nice.
those ones I saw in the cinema, and halfway through, I was like, "This is just a new Star Wars. Like, this is the Star Wars for our modern
Yeah.
generation." I love Guardian and the Guardians as a standalone trilogy in the MCU is easily the best trilogy. It's the most consistently good trilogy. Um, yeah, it's an easy
I, I'm a
standout.
I'm a big Captain America trilogy fan, but like if somebody tells me Guardians is the best, I'm not arguing with you because it is
Yeah. So the
fantastic.
Captain Americas are they're too serious, if that makes sense. Like, I mean, I'm not saying that they're definitely great films, but Guardians is just fun and has great
It
tone
is.
and vibe to it. And
And the
I'd
first
go
Guardians
rewatch them
movie
100 times.
feels well probably what makes people feel more like what Star Wars did originally than anything
Yeah.
Disney has
Yeah.
made, probably.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And we're the Guardians of the frickin' galaxy. Except he didn't say
Mm.
frickin'. Um, I can't believe one of my probably my favorite role of Bradley Cooper is him as a talking raccoon
Yeah.
from South
He's
Philly,
amazing.
but which oh my god, the fact that he based him off of Philly people, I'm just like
Yeah.
it's real. Um, DC, and why is it a
Man,
Batman movie?
it's not. Well, shit. It should be. I'm going to change. Because I was going off the DCEU, like the new
So I
ones.
meant so just to be clear, this could be any Marvel and any DC. I'm
Ah,
not strictly
ah,
saying just like the
oh,
specific
okay.
iterations of the shared universes.
Yeah, so it's not Shazam then. It's going to be Batman 89. Oh, actually, Batman Returns. I like Batman Returns better than Batman
I don't
89
get why
because
people hate Batman Returns. I don't get it.
Danny DeVito deserves an Oscar nomination as the Penguin. He's fucking incredible, and that movie's funny. It doesn't have a lot of Batman in it. I think that's why people don't like it. That's not actually. a ton of
It is.
Batman, but
It
Richards
is
is amazing.
so. It's like this is peak Tim
It's
Burton.
dark.
Like
It is
Tim
dark too.
Burton,
Yeah,
knowing Tim Burton. That
yeah,
Danny Elfman score to start that opening scene
mm,
with Oswald Cobblepot being abandoned goes hard,
yeah,
and Michelle
yeah.
Pfeiffer is sexy as hell.
Ugh.
And the fact
I
that
did
they
not
have
appreciate that when I first saw that movie. I was too young to appreciate that.
so the fact that they have a character named Max Schreck based off of Nosferatu, the actor who played
Yeah.
Nosferatu, played by Christopher Walken, who looks like the mad scientist from Metropolis. I'm like, how
Yeah.
hard are you going into German expressionism right now, Tim Burton? So
Yeah.
damn hard.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Michael Keaton just fit that vibe so
He was a
perfectly.
great Batman.
I
Yeah.
love Batman Returns, and I don't care what anybody else has to say about it. Um,
Yep. It's good.
a Netflix movie. So a Netflix original movie.
There's not many good ones, to be honest, but
There.
for me, Okja. I love
Oh,
Okja, the Bong Joon-ho.
yep.
I've got the Criterion of that as well. Yeah, Okja
It's
is
the only
awesome.
way
It's
we
so
can get their
adorable.
streaming movies.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
like cross our
It's.
fingers that they come out on Criterion.
I actually got a Mitchell's vs. the Machines Blu-ray from the US, which I found strange that they did that. Anyway,
Nice.
yeah, Oak is just adorable. It's heartbreaking. It's a lot of good action. Bong Joon-ho, man, like Bong Joon-ho's like my probably my favorite modern director. So, um, yeah, with Denis Villeneuve maybe, but yeah, I mean, if you haven't seen Oakja, go watch it. It's insanely good.
And then we have a grouping of some genres and such here to wrap things up. We have period piece.
Yeah, I've got three. I was never a big fan of period piece
Mhm.
films because it was like they just look boring and blah blah blah. Anyway, I'm going to say Amadeus is probably my favorite that I've seen, and I've only seen these all three of these I've only seen in the last few years. Amadeus, Barry Lyndon, I really loved. That's a movie that stuck with me well after I've seen Barry. After I saw it was Barry Lyndon, and Emma, the Anya Taylor Joy version of Emma, I really
Nice.
liked as well. Yeah,
We're in
um,
the
but
foster camp of loving that one because they see
yeah.
also their podcast Foster and Robert. They covered Emma. I'm like, thank you for
Oh,
standing sticking up for Emma because that movie is wonderful. Bill
yeah, it
Nye
is. It's really, really good.
and his damn draft is one of the funniest
Yeah.
things. He's just like, do it feel
Yeah.
like draft in here?
He's just sitting there reading the newspaper all the time.
Oh my god. But no,
Yeah.
Amadeus and Barry Lyndon are peak period pieces.
Mm,
And
yeah.
Milos Forman, who as we speak
Mm,
is losing to Paul Schrader in my yeah, that blew my mind. Amadeus is one of my favorite films, and Barry Lyndon is quickly becoming one of my favorite Kubrick films
yeah.
because there's
Yeah.
just something special about that film.
There
We got
is. There is. It's weird,
so
but yeah. So,
now I'm gonna really put you on the spot. Comedy.
mm.
Because
So
we've
after me
mentioned like
saying a thousand,
yeah.
yeah, top five comedy, top three comedy. Well, for this one, Step Brothers. I've never laughed so hard in my life multiple times at watching a movie as Step Brothers. You can
I
call
don't
me
even know what
Michael.
line to reference at the moment.
I
Just
mean, it's so quotable. Like, it's just funny. Like, I still say to my kids, like, if I've been out because it's hot here where I live in Queensland in summer, why are you sweating? Been watching Cops. Like, my answer's always been watching Cops every time.
I'm gonna
You
go
can
teabag
understand
your
that.
I'm gonna go teabag your drum set.
Fuck you,
I
Dale.
I feel like if I ever go to a wedding, I can't not just be like, if I said I want Sam this 5 times
This is
and just
this
like
is horse
storm
shit.
off.
Yeah,
This
it's
wedding
the
is
best.
full. There's just
It's
so many funny lines in that movie. It is endlessly funny. And critics
yeah,
be damned. You don't have a sense of humor. The fact that like
yeah,
McKay
You got to
has
be
made
in
some of the
Ritchie.
funniest movies of this
Absolutely.
century. And it's just like Step Brothers is just endlessly funny. And I can't even
Yeah.
hear like I unironically love Time to Say Goodbye by Andrea Bocelli and Sarah Brightman. But
Yeah.
now I
Yeah,
can't
yeah, yeah.
listen to it without the boats and
Boats
hoes.
and hoes.
It's effing Catalina wine mixer. It's
Yeah,
the cat.
yeah.
And the fact that I just found this out that Adam McKay told Richard Jenkins on the day, tell
Yes,
them
about the
you want to
dinosaur.
be a dinosaur.
Yeah. He had to improv that whole thing. I love Richard Jenkins too, man. He's one of my he's a very
He is
underrated, unknown best character actor. He's so
so
good.
underrated, underappreciated.
Yeah,
It's so fun.
he really is.
I'm gonna go to Cheesecake Factory. Great.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Horror.
Horror after comedy. Very fine line between comedy and horror. Halloween, the original Halloween, John Carpenter's Halloween.
It's
It's so great. It's
chef's
great at what
kiss.
it yeah, it's great at what it doesn't show you more than what it does. That's what I love about
Well, and
Halloween.
that is because John Carpenter was a great director. And then so many
Yes.
movies learn the wrong lessons from Halloween.
Yeah. Didn't they? Friday the 13th and
Well,
yeah.
yeah, Friday the 13th is a schlocky, like the first one is a schlocky, just rip off of
Yeah.
Halloween that did not learn any of the lessons of the first Halloween movie.
No.
The voyeuristic filmmaking in that first Halloween movie is eerie as hell. And that
Yeah.
opening scene with the POV of somebody going to kill
Out the
someone
window. Mm,
and turning out
mm.
was a freaking kid, and
Yeah.
you're just like,
Yeah.
what the
Yeah.
shit? Oh
Oh,
man, there's
yeah.
so many great things. Action.
So great. Action. How do you choose the best action movie, honestly? But I'm just gonna say the Mission Impossible series as a group.
Whether it's De
Sorry, Die
Palma
Hard.
or,
Yeah,
well, let's be real here. The first Die
not
Hard
John Woo.
is amazing.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
And I argue the third, I love Die Hard with a Vengeance, but like, got bad. That
dude,
fifth Die Hard movie is trash.
I'm not saying it.
And like the worst
I
thing
don't.
that
I
you
actually
can,
didn't mind four.
I like the fourth one too. What
I don't mind
bothers,
four. Yeah,
but like if you look at Mission Impossible, what's the worst thing that you can say? One of them's to John Woo.
yeah, yeah. Too many
and
dubs.
yeah, and every other one is great in some shape or form.
Is
And
great. Yeah,
Christopher
yeah.
McQuarrie's really found his dynamic with
Mm,
Tom Cruise is a winning dynamic,
yeah.
and I think they really found something together. So they're
I'm so
gonna keep,
disappointed we're not getting part eight this year. Like, why they push that back is annoying. Really
yeah, well,
frustrating.
2025. I think it's May. I think it's coming out. Please don't release this movie the week before something like Oppenheimer or Barbie or something like that. Please don't do that. Like, why'd you
Yeah,
do that? Tom
yeah.
Cruise, you should have just moved the damn movie.
Too
But anyway,
confident. Too cocky.
fantasy.
Star Wars. I consider Star Wars a fantasy. So yeah, that's an easy one. It's just
I feel
because
like it
it's
could
been
go either
around.
way. But the Force definitely isn't a sci-fi thing. No matter how many metachlorians you
No,
want to tell me about.
I do not believe Star Wars is a sci-fi movie. It's not a science movie. There's no science in Star Wars. It's fantasy altogether. So yeah, it's not sci-fi. Um, I've had arguments with people with that.
Well, science fiction then.
The Matrix.
25
Well,
years and it's still amazing.
I'm just kind of feel like I'm contradicting my own argument there. But I do see the Matrix as science fiction. I don't even know why.
Well, The Matrix is a lot more science fiction because it is
the simulation
It's about
theory and all
compute.
that.
Yeah, it's simulations and stuff like that. Is he a computer program? Is that why he's able to do all the things that he
Yeah,
does? Um,
yeah,
I know by like the third one, it gets so convoluted and ridiculous that you're just kind of like, I don't even know what's true anymore. But
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah,
if you're going strictly based off of the first Matrix movie, it's 100% science fiction for sure.
yeah, yeah. Matrix
And
is
it's
amazing.
amazing. How about mystery,
I found this one harder to categorize a mystery. What is a mystery? Like I found
murder
it really hard.
mystery?
It was even Yeah, I was even googling, but what I ended up coming up with is a Hitchcock film, which I love. One of those vibe movies that just it's an old 90, the 30. Long story short, the 39 Steps from Hitchcock.
Nice. That is a great
Um,
one. Hmm.
yeah, that's it's a fantastic movie. It's just I don't know another just a vibe movie of this I don't know this evil group of people called the 39 Steps, and it's just great direction, characters. Yeah,
I watched The
awesome.
Lady Vanishes for the first time earlier this year, and that was so damn.
It's good, right?
Hitchcock made some great mysteries, some really
Mate,
great mysteries, whether it's
how he
Psycho
did it.
or it just
We had a didn't we have a BEC recently about films? Oh no, that doesn't matter. That was when I did the Writers' Room podcast, and I didn't bring up The Lady Vanishes because it's on a train, obviously. And they've remade that movie a million times. I'm glad you liked it though because it's so great,
was so
so great.
good, so good.
Mm.
Uh, Now this isn't a genre; it's a medium. But animated. What's your favorite animated movie?
Well, we've spoken about Disney and Pixar, so I'm not going to choose them. But basically, I'm going to give another broad sweeping answer, and that's me Studio Ghibli Miyazaki films. So honestly, pick and choose from that, like a Tarantino list. Like you're not going to be wrong whichever one you choose.
Yeah.
For me, it's probably How's Moving Castle. Spirited Away is creeping up there. I loved From Up on Poppy Hill, which is his son directing that. But
Yep.
just choose a Miyazaki film and go ahead.
Yeah, Mononoke, Princess Mononoke is my favorite. But there's just whether
Mm,
it's Ponyo or Totoro
mm.
or Kiki
Yeah,
or
Totoro is a
Spirited
good one.
Away,
Yeah,
it's just so many damn great movies.
yeah.
Romance.
Romance isn't on my list here. But anyway, that's probably going to be easy because it's going to, I'll say, The Apartment,
There you go.
I would say.
Did romance and
Yeah.
Western get cut off at the bottom?
Yes.
Can you think of a
Western, I could.
Western? Because that's the last one.
Well, it is quick fire. So if first Western I could think of, okay, I'm going to say the film that got me into Westerns, thinking Westerns were good, was the Coen Brothers' True Grit. Um,
That is
yeah.
my wife's favorite movie. And it
Oh, wow.
is so much better than the 1969 True Grit adaptation with John Wayne in it,
Yeah, okay. It's good. That's
which
good to know.
like there's some bad casting in that original one. There's some really good casting, but
Right.
like Maddie sucks. Like it just that is not a good adaptation of that character. And Haley Steinfeld's
Mm.
so damn good in this. And
She is really good, man.
and
Yeah.
country western singer Glenn Campbell as LaBeef was not good either. But like Matt
That's a strange
Damon,
choice.
Matt Damon really works as this cocky Texas Ranger. But damn, Jeff Bridges as what good's a gun if it ain't loaded?
Rooster.
Just so darn good.
He's awesome.
And like Josh Brolin as Cheney, and just so many great small performances throughout the film. Like
Matt Damon's
Barry,
in this too, right?
yeah, um, Donald
Yeah.
Gleason has a small role, and Barry Pepper as Ned Pepper is a great choice. Barry Pepper of Saving Private Ryan fame, the sniper. It's just so many great random choices. Like the guy with the bear
Mm.
skin is like peak random Coen Brothers minor characters and stuff like that. I'm a huge fan, obviously, of the
Yeah.
Coens and everything. But that was a lot.
Yeah.
And thank you for playing along,
It was a
Adam.
lot. No worries, man. That's always fun. I love the way you make me think with these things. Yeah, it was good. Yeah, I've got now added another million movies to my list I need to rewatch. Like
You're
it's
welcome. That's our jobs, isn't it? To like
yeah,
endlessly just supply each other with
too many.
movies to watch.
My head is
But
spinning. Yeah.
but Adam, thank you so much as always for coming on and talking movies with me.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me, and thanks for having me on so much. It's good. It's always good fun, man.
Absolutely. And all of you have a lot of movies to add to your watch list. Luckily, I've seen most of these,
Do it.
almost all of them probably. So I don't have a whole lot to add to my
Yeah.
watch list, but you will for sure. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland Reviewer.